when I was younger, learning how to play guitar, I didn't really know much about music theory. I knew how to read music, obviously being in a band and all that. And I've always heard something called the Lydian scale. I think I remember even being in the high school band, talking about I remember Mr. Stites saying, "All right, let's everybody do the Lydian scale." Of course, me being a percussionist, I'm playing the bells or marimba, so I was just playing the notes that were written, right? So anyway, that was a long time ago, 20 plus years ago, right? So so I was watching this YouTuber, and he's like, "The Lydian scale, what is that?" And I didn't know what it was. And what the Lydian scale is so I'm in D, I'm in drop D. So this is D, A, D, are the three levels. So the D scale is here. So all the Lydian scale is you play the root, the 1, the 2, the 3. The 3 is the major, the D major. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what you do is you sharp the 4th. So it's a sharp 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you sharp, you bring it up a half note. So this is the normal scale. This is Lydian. It's kind of got like that weird outer space kind of. I actually found out that the playing around the E.T. theme, which is what is it? That's Lydian. I was like, whoa, that's cool. The E.T. theme is a Lydian theme. That's why it sounds so spacey. So another song I thought that was funny that I found out was written in Lydian was Material Girl by Madonna. It's like a... It's like, oh, that's pretty cool. So anyway, so I was watching this guy and he was explaining the Lydian scale, and I'm writing like a 5-song EP, and I wanted to kind of have a theme to it. And I know Metallica did an album that's very controversial called Saint Anger, and kind of one of the themes of that album is that it was all in drop C, which the guitars are tuned down low, kind of like this, like a D, A, D, but it was C, F, C, I guess. So very low. So I'm writing this album, and I wanted all the songs to be in the same tuning, D. Actually, side note, this is actually tuned D flat, but neither here nor there. We'll just pretend this is D. And so I started playing around with the D Lydian. So remember sharp 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I started playing around with it, and I came up with this little. So what I did there was I bent the 4th to the 5th. So instead of going, I was like, well, let me make it sound a little spacier. And I was like, okay, that sounds pretty cool. So the intro riff goes something like this. So it's like, man, that sounds pretty cool, pretty spacey, right? And then I was like, okay, but it's got to go somewhere after that. And I can imagine, like, okay, big production, like Greg, it's doing this intro, and, it needs like a couple of like, da-na, da-na. So I'm like, so I go like this. And then it resolves. Like, so you're going up here, you're letting the low D ring, but the sharp 4th, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the D scale, that 4th note is actually the major 3rd of the E major. So E major is 1, 2, 3. So that same note, which is is A, D, E. Gosh, I'm terrible about knowing my notes this high. So is that A flat? Yeah, A flat. So that note there, which is the A flat, is actually the third of E major. So it's the sharp fourth of a D Lydian, 1, 2, 3, 4, but it's the third of E major, 1, 2, 3. So it fits, and then it resolves back to the D major. So, to recap, I was watching a video on YouTube and saw a guy going over Lydian stuff. He talked about the sharp fourth, and then I wrote a little intro that goes, bend the sharp fourth to the fifth. Okay, so that's cool. Where do we go from there? I'm like, well, let's bring in a second guitar. So while the first guitar is doing that riff, let's do a second one that's strumming, that's going D fifth to the Lydian with the sharp fourth, which actually turns out to be like a diminished tritone chord. So you can hear that sharp fourth. From there. So we have our little intro, right? With the two guitars, we got the Lydian scale, we got the E major, which resolves back to the D major. Okay, so I figured, well, the heavy guitars will come in next with like the main riff, like the, you know, that's gonna be my rock beat, right? So what am I doing with the Lydian? I'm going there and into the fourth and the fifth, or a sharp fourth and the fifth. So it's the same thing. So instead of doing the individual notes, I decided to come up with some power chords. So I go D, and then to that E major, or in this case it's an E fifth. Resolves back to the D. So, from the beginning, you have the Lydian, E, and then the rock part. The next part would be, okay, the verse, right, where I have to magically make up words to sing along, which I don't know what they are. I don't even know what the melody is yet, because I don't write words first. I write music first, then I write words to the music. Some people do it backwards. Some people have a poetry book that they write poetry in, and then they write music to that. I don't do that. I don't like poetry. So the verse is going to be kind of like that rhythm guitar walk down of the D fifth to the Lydian, or the diminished, or the tritone, whatever you want to call it, to the sharp fourth. So fifth, sharp fourth to the third, fifth, sharp fourth, third, and then the hook. Gonna change it up a little. Chorus, sort of bridge, whatever you want to call it. So it's going to switch it up. So this whole time I've been doing D Lydian to the E in some variation, whether it's that or... Okay, so we're on E, right? Okay, so if you hear it, watch this change, right? It's gonna go. I was like, whoa, that sounds really cool. Why does that sound cool that you go there, right? It's because I hear it in my head, but the reason it sounds cool is we're here on E. And what that is, that E is the third of C major. So we're already on an E, and now we're in C major. However, one of the cool things about C that works on a guitar is there's C major, the root, the fifth, and there's the third, the octave third. So root, fifth, octave, and then the third, which is also, it's not just an octave higher, right, of the third. That's C. But if you change the C to a C major 7, and you go here, listen. Ooh, that's like a nice, beautiful jazzy chord, right? And the reason that's a C major 7 is, you guessed it, the note that I switched is the 7th in the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. So here, and then we go. So we're gonna make this a C major, right? So C, the third of the major, and then the 7th, right? So that's a C major 7. Okay. The cool thing, what I was saying earlier about a guitar, is when you're playing a C, the 7th note is a B. But guess what this string is here? That's also a B. So you can get this really cool ambience, ringing of a C major 7 really easy on a guitar. So let's go back a little bit. We're here. And then, so that sounds really cool. C major 7, which incorporates that major is the E that we left off with. And then it just sounded like you wanted to go here. And what that is a sus 2, suspended 2. And the reason that's called a suspended 2, you're probably catching on by now, is that note that's suspended. This note is the second note of the A scale, which is a B. So 2, and it's just an octave higher, which is that same ringy note. So C major 7 to A sus 2, and look, with the guitar you don't even have to move these 2 fingers, right? It stays the same. You're just letting off. A D in there just because it sounded cool. I go to start over to resolve back to the C. And then just do it. D, C major 7, and A sus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess what we're going back to? The cool intro. And then resolve. So that's how I come up with songs. That's how I write a song. This song started because I was up late one night watching a guy on YouTube talking about the Lydian scale, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And for those that are just joining, I'm gonna upload this video to Facebook, but check out the beginning because it's just pretty neat, like my songwriting process and kind of how I get to a song. But I'll play it one more time and then I'll probably shut it down. So to the beginning, basically it's just D Lydian. E major, D Lydian. Thanks, Cynthia. Appreciate it. No, not writing any rock ballads. I have no idea what this song's going to be about. I'm probably going to title it Lydian. That's what I was thinking. But so anyway, so yeah, that's if you've watched this far, I appreciate it. I really am sincerely trying to work on a 5-song EP. I have 5 songs, kind of at least the rhythm guitar part or like the guitar, 5 distinct songs. They're all in drop D or D flat, but they're all in drop D, so that's going to kind of be my theme. Made the melody to the bridge. Oh, this part, the C major 7. Pretty cool. I don't know. It just sounds really cool. But I've got a 5-song. I'm working on 5 songs. I really want to do this. You know, I've over the years I've kind of put out 1 song at a time, just kind of here and there. They all sound different. There's no cohesiveness to them. But the theme of this album, from a musical standpoint, they're all in drop D. So you can see, you can just do chords. Power chords with using 1 finger. But thematically, from a lyrical content standpoint, the theme I'm going for is kind of positivity, uplifting. Things kind of suck in a lot of different places right now. And me personally, I listen to kind of some of the pop music that's out there now, and it's all like revenge songs, breakup songs, or like, you know, no offense to anybody I know that writes those kinds of songs, but it's like, you know, I want to write songs that sound cool and want to, like, you know, lift somebody up if they're having a bad day. Like, you know, the first song I'm going to release is called Find Your Way Home, and I'll probably make a separate video about that, but I've already have the lyrics. I mean, it's ready to go. I could release it today, but instead of releasing it, you know, for people to listen to, I actually want to try to create a really cool music video and release it on my newly recovered YouTube account. But I want to release it like that. But anyway, the theme of the EP is going to be positivity of, you know, I'm here for you, you know, to lift you up, or if you need, like, you need a friend, or, you know, something like that, something along the positive. It's not going to be about ex relationships or, you know, revenge, or I hate this person, so, you know, you did me wrong. Like, that stuff is so overplayed right now. It's like, I'm tired of hearing that in the pop world. So, but anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like I said, this is just me kind of mixing some music theory into my songwriting. I used to not write songs that way, but as I've gotten older, you know, I'm trying to challenge myself and, you know, do a little bit more with it than, I guess. And some of it's by accident, but with this one here, this song I knew was going to be Lydian, like I said, just because I watched that YouTube and I was like, man, that sounds really cool. So, all right. Peace out, everybody. Hope everybody stays safe. And if anybody has any questions or whatever, send me a message. And if you like these videos, let me know that you liked it, and maybe I'll do some more for some of my other songwriting kind of how I write songs. Okay, bye.